Chapter 221 to 223. And so, Kenya, Alice, Gail, Chloe and Ryota met Shizu after a long, long time. Over half a year, to be exact. When everyone else gave up on the students, only Shizu stayed with them and continued looking after them, teaching them, trying her best to give them normal school lives. She left only because her time was running out and she wanted to look for Leon Cromwell so she could settle her regrets. In the end, I'm the one that solved her regrets. I reignited her will to live and I saved her students from their imminent deaths. And now, finally, after everything is over, they meet again. Alice, so yummy. Shizu, hey. Leave that alone. Those are my snacks. Chloe, I didn't know food could be this delicious. Kenya, hey, pass that Pocky stick over. Ryota, alright. Shizu, you guys. I had to work really hard to get all these. Gail, Shizu-sensei, you could eat food like this every day. I'm so jealous. Shizu, no. My snacks. Her students then proceeded to mercilessly devour all her hard-earned snacks. Chocolates, chips, Pocky sticks, gum, candy, cookies, donuts, basically every kind of junk food under the sun. Thankfully, Avalon's food is all nutritious stuff, so you could eat nothing but Cheetos all day and be completely healthy. Shizu falls to her knees as she watches her stockpile of junk food disappear. I kneel next to her and drop my hand on her shoulder. Rimuru, cheer up. I'll give you something. Shizu, *sniff*. You will? Shizu asks while turning her head to me, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. Rimuru, yeah. Here. Have a fish-flavored meat bun. A white bun of fishy goodness appears in my hands before it disappears not even a second later, appearing in Shizu's hands as she nibbles it. Her tails swish in content while her ears twitch from happiness. Cute. In any case, that happened. With Shizu now with us, Ilya along with the rest of the students and I continued to walk around Avalon, visiting anything that comes to mind. We went to the movies, arcades, all kinds of restaurants, food stalls, fashion stores, the girls in the group forced us, and all kinds of stuff. Many hours have passed and the sun is high in the sky. Suddenly, I feel a familiar magical signature approach. Ramiris, Yahalo. Ramiris flies up to me and says hello. Rimuru, oh, Ramiris. What's up? Ramiris, nothing much, I was just looking for you to tell you that I'm done with the floors of the dungeon. Rimuru, already? Ramiris, yup. Well? I'm amazing, right? Praise me. Ramiris puffs out her, lacking, chest in pride while stating her achievements. Rimuru, yeah, you're amazing. Well, you have been dealing with labyrinths for centuries now, so it's to be expected. Ramiris, hoo. I'm the best at labyrinth creation, no one comes even close. Aren't I the one who gave you the dungeon plans though? Oh well. Ramiris and I were making small talk when a figure dropped from the sky. Or rather than dropped, he descended, using the repulsors in his hands and feet. Jarvis, Ramiris-sama, please do not rush ahead by yourself. Jarvis lightly scolds Ramiris after landing while walking towards us. He looks towards Ilya and me and nods. Jarvis, it is good to see you, Rimuru-sama, Ilya-sama. I apologize for not meeting with you earlier, I had to deal with Dash. Rimuru, it's fine. You don't need to explain, I understand. Jarvis nods in gratitude before he also greets Shizu and the students who are looking at him with stars in their eyes. Kenya, Jarvis could fly. Well, Jarvis never showcased his flight capabilities when the kids visited the labyrinth for their spirits, so their response was understandable. Anyways, it was at this moment Ilya had an idea. Ilya, hey, Oniai-chan, since the dungeon is finished, why don't we try it out? And this got the students really excited. Alice, dungeon. As if in the one with monsters crawling all about. Alice's words reflect the inner thoughts of her peers as they all look towards Ramiris with awe and eager smiles on their faces before they started showering her in praises. Rimuru, oh boy, here we go. Ramiris, waha. Yes. I made the dungeon. All by myself, I might add. It's just a normal day's work for someone like me, the great demon lord Ramiris of the labyrinth. Ha ha ha. And so, Ramiris spent a whole hour bragging about how great she is, which caused the kids, mostly Alice, to regret stroking her ego. In the end, we finally broke Ramiris out of her self-satisfaction session before we head off to Babel Tower. We arrived there pretty quickly since we weren't that far off in the first place. Kenya, why is the whole thing pink? Oh wait, never mind. I must be seeing things. Heh. Anyways, we quickly arrived at the tower and entered it through one of its 4 entrances. We were greeted with the sight of a fucking huge room. The ceiling is over 30 meters in height and has many light sources hanging from it, brightly illuminating the area below. The room itself is incredibly large, as if we're standing in a small stadium. All kinds of races can be found walking about, chatting among each other, giving the atmosphere a cheery, adventurer vibe. Humans, demi-humans and monsters all intermingle with each other. The dungeon itself has been open for about a week after Ramiris finished the upper floors. She just happened to finish the lower floors not long ago, for a total of 200 floors, her maximum amount. Technically, 100 floors are her maximum, although she can go above that. It's just that the energy needed to create any floors above that is obscene and highly inefficient. But with a simple magicule connection rune with myself, Ramiris was easily able to create a full 200 floors by tapping into my reserves. 200 floors are her maximum, she can't make more regardless of energy. Well, I can, but I don't need more. And guess who's the final boss of floor 200? That's right. Kono do. Cough. No, it's just Velophus. To spawn monsters, I took a page out of OG Rimura's book and used Velophus magicules. Monsters spawn in magicule-rich areas. The more magicules in the atmosphere, the stronger the monster. I created a channel for Velophus magicule absorbing necklace into floor 200. As the floors go up, the fewer magicules reach them, making a nice system where the higher floors have weaker monsters while the lower floors have stronger ones. I made sure that the monsters don't have an ego when born and simply disappear into black mist upon death while dropping a magic crystal proportionate to their strength levels. Odin, runes for the win. Anyways, it's time for the kids to register as adventurers to begin their dungeon exploration. Meanwhile, a conversation off to the side. Random Guy 1, now, we've formulated a few strategies with some help from the higher-ranked adventurers on how to deal with the first floor of the dungeon. This dungeon is a trap to kill us all. RG1, oh goddammit Kibu. Do you have any evidence to back that up? Kibu, evidence. I don't need no evidence. Kibu then points towards a random person. Kibu, isn't that right, Jesus? Jesus. It's pronounced Izuz, and, I don't know you. Kibu, well, we could still die in the dungeon. If I might interject. A voice from the back of the group speaks up. Kibu, and who the hell are you? The owner of the voice steps forward. He is a large man with many muscles under his dark brown skin, his bald head shines under the light from the ceiling. I am known by many names. Mountain Slayer. Thunder Lion. The Chocolate Axe. But you may call me Tiffany. Kibu. Tiffany, huh? That's a pretty masculine name. Tiffany shouldn't be. It's a woman's name. Kibu. I don't know how to talk to you. Tiffany, good. Then you can shut up and listen. Tiffany then raises his arm to show a bracelet on it. Tiffany, does everyone here have this bracelet on their wrist? This bracelet will let you revive if you die in the dungeon. So as long as you are wearing this bracelet, if you're in the dungeon, you won't die. If you get killed, you will instead resurrect on the surface. It's already been tried and tested. It's a one-use item, but it's bought for cheap at the counter over there. Tiffany points to a counter with a bunch of bracelets and other items on it. Random Guy 3, actually, I didn't buy it. Random Guy 4, yeah, I didn't buy it either. Random Guy 5, I thought about buying one. Tiffany, what? Didn't any of you buy one? It is literally a matter of life and death. Random Guy 6, well dude, it's like a silver. Tiffany. I am so done with you people. Random Guy 7, what do you mean, you people? Goblin, scree. Slash. Poof. With a single hit, the goblin that lunged at me burst into black mist, dropping a magic crystal. Said magic crystal is only the size of a fingernail, and I can't be bothered bending down and picking it up, so I just use Azathoth to teleport the thing into my hand, to which I stuff it into a little bag at my waist. How did I get here, you ask? Well, it all started about an hour ago. The students, Ilya, Shizu and I followed Ramiris and Jarvis into Babel Tower so the kids can do a test run. So we registered them as adventurers, which barely took 5 minutes under my recommendation. After that, someone, definitely not me, suggested a race between the students and the teachers on who can reach floor 18, the first safe zone, first. The kids were enthusiastic, so I called over Mikoto since she is also their teacher, and we made a group of 3. Shizu, Mikoto and I. Ilya, although technically a teacher, joined the student team, simply because she wanted to catch up with Alice and Chloe. Now that I think about it, didn't Ilya teach way more than I did? In fact, did I even teach anything during my time in Freedom Academy? Not important. Of course, it would be unfair as fuck if team teachers, dumb name, I'm working on it, went all out since we're all quite overpowered. Shizu could probably burn the entire world to the ground with her recently gained fire ultimate skill and her massive magicule pool that never stops growing courtesy of Limit Breaker. Mikoto could probably collapse the entire solar system in on itself within the course of a year with her Electromaster Esper ability. And as for me, well, I think you get the idea. So, I created homunculus bodies for our consciousness to inhabit temporarily that limits our abilities, though I had a little trouble with Shizu's and Mikoto's bodies because of their Limit Breaker and Saitama skills which were evolving the bodies simply by inhabiting them. So that was fun. Now we're all around C rank in terms of magicule capacity and physical prowess. Against the kids who are around a rank with their artificial spirits, I'd say this is pretty fair. Yes, I was throwing shade. I ain't got no mercy for my enemies. Mikoto, Rimuru. Stop monologuing. We're going already. Mikoto shouts from further ahead. Rimuru, wait up. I sheath Yamato into its scabbard and run up to them, continuing our descent into floor 5. Yes, I am using Yamato. OP equipment is allowed since the students have the bracelets I gave them that let them transform into their gear, which is also OP. Although I won't just open a space rift straight into the 18th floor just because I can. I'm not sure I even have the magicules for that. Rimuru, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have used Azathoth to pick up that little magic crystal. That took nearly 5% of my reserves. Shizu, 5%? Just for teleporting that little crystal? Isn't that too much? Mikoto, well, to be fair, it's a space ultimate skill. With just C-rank magicule reserves, there's probably not much you can do. Plus, he's lived with an obscene amount of magicules his entire life, so. Shizu, ha. I wasn't asking you. I was asking Rimuru, dumb woman. Mikoto, ha. And why wouldn't Rimuru want to talk to you? Shizu, he's not yours. Mikoto, yes he is. Shizu, not for long. Mikoto, what's that supposed to mean? I wonder why these two argue so suddenly when I'm around. Every time I'm not there, they're like best friends who can't live without the other. But then you throw me into the picture and they're like two cats fighting over territory, or food. Why do I feel like the food in that metaphor? Odd. Pikachu, Pika Pika. Oh yeah, and Pikachu is here too. I wonder where she was, I haven't seen her in such a long time. And so, we continue to breeze through the floors by taking turns on who would lead so we can all have some fun. I killed everything in our way on floor 1, which wasn't many. Shizu coated her sword in her hell flames, wiping out entire rooms with minimal magicule usage on floor 2. As an aside, her sword is a replica of the one she used as a human but dialed to 11. Being created out of hard-as-fuck metal and engraved with my runes will do that to any weapon. And Mikoto used Pikachu to fight. Apparently, her Esper ability was mostly left behind in her real body. Well, she still has access to it in her current body, but it's barely level 2, so there's not much use. It was my turn on the 4th floor, and now it's Shizu's turn again on the 5th. Boom. An explosion echoes into our ears through the earth as the tunnel trembles around us, causing dust and small rocks to fall. Shizu. That wasn't me. Rimuru, probably Ilya. I'm pretty sure it's Ilya. It's not very often she gets to fire off laser beams as a magical girl and watches hundreds of lives are snuffed out of existence with a happy smile. Mikoto. We gotta hurry. Shizu, way away ahead of you. Shizu dashes forward and slashes the newly born kobolds and goblins in the chest as she passes them with flawless grace, causing a small delayed eruption of flame to burst from their cuts, instantly killing them. Fum 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 fum. 6 magic stones drop onto the floor, but Ilya, the magical girl of doom, is hot on our tail, so we just ignore them and continue rushing deeper into the dungeon. Shizu, don't you think it's a bit unfair that she still has her unlimited magicules? Mikoto, well at least she knows how to hold back and not drill a hole through the floors. Shizu, yeah. See. When it doesn't involve me, they're completely fine with each other. Rimuru, sniff. Whatever, let's just keep going. I almost choke on my words as I try to keep my emotions in control. We continue onwards, the dungeon continues to spawn more monsters and Shizu continues to fucking annihilate them. They stood no chance. Even with her reduced strength, she continues to keep styling on these poor mindless mobs, never once slowing down in the process. There was once a time where over 20 mobs were gathered together, as 3 groups just happened to group up in the middle of an intersection. Shizu ran up the walls and onto the ceiling, melting footholds into the walls, ending up above the concentration of monsters. Without hesitation, she stops and lets gravity reclaim her. She fell. With the plumes of fire dancing around her as her blade glows from the concentrated flames, it looked like the climax scene of a masterwork action anime. I swore time slowed for that moment. Either that or the author did something. A/N, cough. Anyways, her blade stabs into the ground, its tip sheathing itself into the dungeon floor. And all the flames held back were expelled into a flame shockwave around her. All 20 monsters turned into black mist as the bright crimson flames licked their bodies. There was no burning process, the flames simply touched the mobs before they broke down into dust. Floor 16. The 16th floor is really massive. The ceiling is high enough to stack 5 or 6 houses on top of each other and wide enough that you could fit a massive highway here. It's rather beautiful too. It looks like a completely natural cave with lots of smooth-cut rocks and lots of sub-caves connected to the main one. And all that space is currently occupied. Fwum. I am currently surrounded by monsters. There are hellhounds, a dog monster that can breathe fire, Lygerfangs, a tiger monster, wyverns, which are flying above me, and the ever-famous Minotaur, a cow-headed humanoid monster. There are over 50 of them altogether. Shing. Fwum. Another hellhound turns to dust as I shout at the top of my lungs towards the 2 girls, traitors, are sitting off to the side eating popcorn. Rimuru, you girls. Help me out already. Minotaur *Roea**. Rimuru, shut up. I wasn't asking you. Fwum. Mikoto, Nah. Shizu, I'm fine. Pikachu. Rimuru, yeah, you're all fine, but I'm not. Where did they even get the popcorn in the first place? Normally, I could snap my fingers and turn this massive mob of monsters into black mist. Unfortunately, my C-rank substitute body has got shit magicule reserves, I can't use any of my hard-hitting skills. Bang! I jump to the side as a Minotaur smashes the ground where I was standing with its fist, cracking the floor slightly. Normally, floor 16 should be a cakewalk for a party of C-rank adventurers. If you're alone, then it might be hard, but still possible to get through. Unfortunately, I seem to have done something to piss off the goddess of fate, if there is any, and just happened to run into a group of over 60 monsters. 60. You'd be considered unlucky if you ran into a group of 20. I'm standing in the middle of triple that. I spin around and swing Yamato into a wide horizontal arc. It seamlessly passes through the Minotaur's neck, causing it to instantly turn to black mist and drop a fist-sized magic stone. Feeling movement behind me with my frustratedly limited, universal sense, I lift my hand behind me and write a simple silver rune in the air with, Odin. Rimuru, firebolt. The rune combusts into a flame and hits the Lygerfang in the head with a bolt of fire, dealing sufficient damage to kill it in one hit. And no, I didn't have to scream it out, I just wanted to, because, well, it's a fire spell, and I'm in a dungeon under Babel Tower. I was practically compelled to do it, probably not the best choice, since that one spell took around 5% of my reserves, which will regenerate in around 5 minutes. Damn shitty magicule reserves. 2 more monsters lunge at me, another Lygerfang and a hellhound. From my left, a wyvern flaps its wings also swoops down at me, opening its jaws, revealing its sharp teeth. I squint my eyes and calculate my options. Sighing to myself, I resheath Yamato and bend my knees, lowering my body into an IAI stance. Once all of them cross the 3-meter distance, I draw Yamato again. Origin Slime Sword Technique, Life Seeker. 3 separate bursts of light escape from Yamato's sheath, each splitting into 3 separate directions in their own beautiful curved movements. Shing! In that single moment, each arc of light crossed the necks of all 3 monsters. Fwum, Fwum, fwum. An original sword art I made that targets the necks of everything I consider to be an enemy, regardless of the angle or number, as long as they're less than 3 meters from me. I then use Yamato's effect over to space to pull off a pseudo-Tsubami Geishi by pulling in strikes from nearby parallel worlds to create multiple attacks that occur simultaneously. This happens instantaneously and returns the sword to its sheath at the end, ready for another technique. Yes, I'm lazy, but I never stopped practicing my swordsmanship. Hakuru would beat my ass if I did. Another minotaur rushes up behind me, this one carrying a long sword. Probably dropped from another adventurer who died and got resurrected back on the surface. Although it looks like a short sword when the minotaur is holding it. It swings the sword at me, a normal overhead swing, easily telegraphed. So I step aside, causing it to miss. Life Seeker. Shing. Fwum. More monsters rush at me. A wyvern and 3 Ligerfangs. Life Seeker. Fwum, 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 fwum. More. Life Seeker. Fwum, 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 fwum. More. Fwum, 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 fwum. Even more. Fwum, 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 fwum. A/N, racking up that word count. Until eventually, it's just me standing in the middle of a field of magic crystals. Should I have styled on these scrubs some more and used other techniques other than Life Seeker? Nah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mikoto, see? I knew you could do it. Mikoto says as she walks up to me, Shizu walking next to her, finishing up the rest of her popcorn. Rimuru. Mikoto. Pikachu. Rimuru, cough. I cough, causing a plume of black mist to escape my mouth. And it's not just that. I'm literally covered in this stuff. Mikoto. You didn't die, so. That's a win. Why is that a question? I shake my body, causing the majority of the black dust to fall off my body. Rimuru, yeah, but some help would have been appreciated. Shizu just shrugs. Shizu, I was hungry. Rimuru, you're always hungry. Shizu, exactly. Pikachu, pika pika. Inhale ominously. It's not worth it. Calm down, me. Rimuru, **** whatever. Come on, next floor is floor 17, the boss floor. Shizu/Mikoto, boss. Shizu and Mikoto shout at the same time. They look towards each other with guarded eyes. Mikoto. I wanna kill the boss. Shizu, but it's my turn. Mikoto, but the floor after that is floor 18, so I won't get a turn. Shizu and Mikoto continue to argue back and forth until they finally agreed to settle this with the tried and tested ancient method of rock, paper, scissors. Mikoto/Shizu, Jan-Ken Pon. Rock paper scissors in Japanese. Both throw out paper. A draw. Mikoto/Shizu, Ikadesho. Play again. Both throw out rock. Another draw. Mikoto/Shizu, Ikadesho. Both throw out scissors. Mikoto/Shizu, Ikadesho. Paper. Mikoto/Shizu, Ikadesho. Rock. Mikoto/Shizu, Ikadesho. Scissors. This kept repeating hundreds upon hundreds of times. Until finally. Mikoto, yes. I win. Ha ha ha. Shizu, ah. Mikoto drew rock and Shizu drew scissors. And just in time too, as we're standing at the entrance of the boss room. There's no big-ass door or anything like that, it's just a normal natural entrance from a cave to an even bigger cave. And so we enter. Mikoto. Shizu. Rimuru. Mikoto. Hey. Shizu. Yes, Mikoto. Mikoto. Where's the boss? That's right, there is no boss. It must have already been killed and is on a respawn timer. Shizu. Pfft. Mikoto, don't laugh. Mikoto shouts with a red, embarrassed face. Name, Rimuru. Race, Origin Slime. Protection, Crest of Space. Title, Highest Tier Spirit, leader of the monsters, Onii-chan, king of Avalon, master of head pats, procrastinator king, the nutcracker, socially awkward cringe slightly Chuyuni slime, true dragon slayer, sensei, world's strongest, overpowered to a stupid degree, Mikoto's equal. Codex, Iliasville. Ultimate skills, Yahweh, god of creation, Odin, god of runes, Azathoth, god of void, alternative. Equipment, Yamato, Genesis.